My name is Alondra Gonzalez. I'm 24 years old and I'm a current student at Springdale Job Corps. I'm studying to get my office administration certificate and get my GED. Talking is very hard sometimes, so when I write things down, I feel like it flows more differently. I used to be discouraged to quit writing because I was told that it's not good income. It's like you're not gonna make much out of being an author. And I'm like, well, I just like writing, and it just turned into a hobby, and then eventually just stopped. And then they told me like, oh, hey, we're doing this workshop, you should join.
Right Around Portland is a creative writing workshop that will come to campus once a week for 10 weeks. They get a chance to do creative writing in various formats. It can be very personalized stuff, their experiences here, their thoughts about home.
And at first I was like, no, like I'm good. I was very shy back then. And then I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. I'm not very poetic, I warned them. Like, you're not gonna get poems from me. But then it just like it opened something, and that was like there years ago. Like I got my passion back into writing, honestly.
I think Right Around does such a beautiful job of varying ways of empowering somebody's voice. First with the free write, then with the ability to share and get feedback, then with the opportunity to publish your piece in the anthology, and then with the opportunity to share your words at the reading. We want to hear your words are important, and we'll meet you where you're at.
We have the choice to read our piece, and at first I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll just keep it to myself, but I was just really excited of what I wrote. I was like, oh, this actually sounds pretty good. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll share. And I get to hear other people's pieces afterwards, and they're really inspiring. Sometimes you find yourself resonating with them, like, oh, I feel this, or I don't know what it feels like, but I can feel like the pain through your writing too. I think the word's empathy.
A number of students would be saying the same thing. I didn't know I could write, or I like to write but didn't know how to express myself in my writing. I didn't know that I could really go into myself with what I was writing. The environment, what they're able to do as a group, even though a lot of these students never hung out with each other, never spoke to each other on campus, just their shifts passing. Now they're sitting around the table and they're sharing with each other. I think that's beautiful.
I immediately come to the place of 3 values of Right Around, right? Respect, writing, and community, and like that's my emphasis. I make sure everybody is understanding that Right Around comes from a place that everybody's a writer, everybody has access to being creative. It's just this beautiful way of being in the here and now. The presence that everybody has of just dedicating this time to be together, to create, to share in community. I think it's such an empowering experience.
The book Moonlights that came out, my piece is in there, and I got the book and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I immediately opened it, and just coincidentally, you open it, the minute you open it, my piece is right there. And I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, oh, I really love it. And I was reading it over and over and over again. And then it was my turn to read it out loud, and I was like, okay. It was kind of like an exciting moment. It was so surreal. And after writing, I'm not gonna lie, afterwards, when everybody was clapping, I low-key like started crying a little bit, because I was like, wow, I got to be heard. Like my piece was able to be heard, and it was a very happy moment. It was a very proud moment.
Love this program. When Alondra first came to us, she could hardly talk to any of her peers. She was very shy. Now she is just bubbles with energy. She became our next SGA president and wants to get to know every single student. Her growth, almost no words to describe it, really.
Something I definitely love doing is complimenting writing when I see like really good writing, because it's something that I rarely ever got. And definitely there was so many people who inspired me to continue writing. For example, Gina, the whole ride around Portland, and John Schirmer, because honestly, without them, without their little push, I honestly wouldn't have been able to continue this. I wouldn't have seen myself standing there in front of a bunch of people reading a piece that I wrote